On this episode of The Dispatch, I'm here with Amanda Reed, the RAPS Program Manager. Amanda, could you explain to us exactly what RAPS is?
Yeah, RAPS is a locally driven effort with folks out in the watersheds across the state of Kansas, and it's a process where the locals are working to reduce non-point source pollution from farm fields and livestock practices and the like. And so there are 4 phases to a RAPS process, and the first is development, and we here in the Bureau help locals get together a stakeholder leadership team, find people who are interested in doing this kind of work, and they develop themselves as a team. And then we go through an assessment process where we help them here at KDHE, we help them look at models, at water quality data, at land use activities, and try to determine what changes need to be made in their watersheds to improve the pollution situation. And we also go through a planning process where again we take all the assessment information we've learned and we help them put it together in a plan, and so they have an actual plan of action to make these improvements. And then the last phase of a RAPS project is implementation, and that's where they complete best management practices or land use improvement practices, and these are the things they've identified during the planning process that local farmers would do, the things they would change to make an improvement in the pollution situation.
Sure, with pollutants that are in the water and the plans that you come up with to address these things, how do the contaminants affect things like blue-green algae, and how do the best management practices go to help that problem?
Well, the non-point source pollution tends to be things like sediment, nitrogen, and phosphorus running off of different land use. And those things are naturally in the water, but they're in small numbers. Algae are also in the water in small numbers. If you start getting excess nutrients, which are food for the algae, then you start getting excess algae. And so if we can keep all that excess from going in, then we're going to help control things like algae blooms.
Sure. Now, your role specifically, I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about your role in implementing these with the community, and talk to us maybe about the things that you enjoy most about it.
Yeah, with my role, I am responsible. The RAPS program through KDHE is funded from EPA 319 funding, and I'm responsible for getting that funding, and also working with Watershed Management section to determine how the funding is allocated to the locals around the state. But my favorite part of the job probably is working with the locals. I manage a few RAPS projects, get to work with the local SLTs and determine what best management practices, to put in, help them decipher water quality data, and do all the technical assistance.
Well, Amanda, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Thanks.